In a wide valley where dry grass met a slow river, animals lived close enough to know one another but far enough to misunderstand. From a distance, the valley looked peaceful. Up close, it was full of opinions. On the eastern edge lived Cora, a young hyena with uneven stripes and a crooked ear. His laugh came out wrong, too loud at the wrong times, and people believed that meant he was careless. Hyenas, after all, had a reputation. Cora learned early that reputation can walk into a room before you do. On the western bank lived Mira, an old tortoise with a shell scarred by years of travel. She spoke slowly and listened deeply. Animals called her wise, but only when it suited them. When her advice felt uncomfortable, they smiled politely and ignored it. Near the river lived Aaron, a white crane with ash-dark wings. His wings were stained from a fire years ago, and many thought it made him unlucky. Parents told their chicks not to stand near him. Bad signs follow damaged things, they whispered. And at the center of the valley stood the fig tree, where meetings were held and judgments were made. The laugh that lied. Cora tried to be useful. He cleaned the riverbank when floods pulled trash from upstream. He chased away snakes from nesting areas. He even stayed awake at night when others slept, because his eyes adjusted better to the dark. But whenever he approached the fig tree, conversations changed shape. Careful, a deer once said softly, not softly enough. Hyenas are tricky. Cora smiled anyway. Smiling was safer than explaining. Explaining took energy, and energy was precious when no one believed you. One evening, a young gazelle fell into a muddy pit near the reeds. The pit was old, hidden by grass. Cora heard the cry and ran. He jumped in, dug footholds, and pushed until the gazelle climbed out. By morning, the story had changed. They say Cora chased her, someone said. They say he scared her into the pit, another added. Cora listened from behind a rock and felt something heavy settle inside him. Not anger, something colder, acceptance. The crane nobody chose. Aaron the crane spent his days fishing alone. When storms came, he warned the valley early, reading the sky with a precision born of long flights. But warnings from damaged wings sounded like fear to others. One summer, clouds piled up fast. Aaron flew low, circling the fig tree. A flood is coming, he said. The river will rise by nightfall. The council laughed gently. You worry too much, said a well-fed boar. You always see danger. Aaron flew away. He did not argue. He prepared. By night, the river rose. Burrows filled. Nests collapsed. Panic ran faster than water. Aaron guided lost animals to higher ground until his wings ached. He flew until he could barely land. At dawn, the valley was quiet and broken. No one thanked him. Gratitude requires admitting you were wrong. The tortoise who remembered. Mira watched everything. She remembered when the valley was smaller and kinder. She remembered when the fig tree was just a tree, not a court. She also remembered a drought years ago, when a strange-looking fox with patchy fur shared his last water with others. He left the valley afterward. People remembered his fur, not his kindness. Patterns matter, Mira believed. Not stripes or scars. Patterns of behavior. One afternoon, she asked Cora to walk with her. Why do you still help them? She asked. Cora shrugged. If I stop, I become what they think I am. Mira nodded. And if you keep helping? They say I'm pretending. Mira smiled sadly. Truth takes time. Lies travel fast. The trial of appearances. That autumn, food grew scarce. A store of dried roots disappeared from the communal cave. Fear sharpened into suspicion. They have stripes, someone said. They laugh at night, another added. The council called a meeting. Cora stood under the fig tree, alone. This is how it always goes, he thought. No evidence, only comfort. Aaron stood at the edge of the crowd, silent. Mira sat near the roots of the tree, eyes half closed. Search his den, the boar ordered. Cora didn't resist. Resistance looks like guilt when people want a story. They found nothing. Still, doubt remained. Doubt is lighter than truth and easier to carry. That night, Mira asked Aaron to fly with her on his back to the northern cliffs. It was slow, painful, necessary. What the night revealed. From above, Aaron saw tracks near the cave. Heavy, dragging, familiar. They followed them to a badger's den hidden beneath thorn bushes. Inside were the roots, half-eaten. The badger trembled when confronted. I was afraid, he said. I thought if I didn't take them, someone else would. Everyone already hates Cora. I thought it would be easy. Mira did not shout. Easy does not mean right, she said. They brought the truth to the valley by morning. Silence fell heavier than judgment ever had. The boar looked at Cora, then away. We made a mistake, he said. Cora waited for more. Nothing came. Understanding is a choice. Later, by the river, Aaron stood beside Cora. I believed you, Aaron said. Cora laughed, softly this time. You know how that sounds? Aaron smiled. Let it. Mira joined them. Will they change? Cora asked. Some will, she said. Some won't, but now they must choose, instead of assuming. Cora looked at his reflection in the water. Crooked ear, uneven stripes, the same hyena. I can't control their eyes, he said. Only my actions. Mira nodded. And sometimes that is enough. The valley learned slowly. Change did not arrive like a sunrise. It came like moss, quiet and patient. When storms came, animals listened to Aaron. When danger came at night, they waited for Cora's laugh, because it meant someone was awake. When confusion came, some sat near Mira and listened longer than they spoke. When danger came at night, they waited for Cora's laugh, because it meant someone was awake. When confusion came, some sat near Mira and listened longer than they spoke. Appearances are loud. Character is quiet. If you listen only to what you see, you will miss the truth standing beside you, waiting to be known. Sometimes, the kindest hearts wear the strangest faces.